Hi guys, I'm doing my project on the Spartan Skytail. It was created and used around 400 BC. It was used because generals could read. We don't know who exactly invented it, but it was assumed that it was a military officer since only officers were taught to read. Ordinary soldiers received only physical and military education. It is the oldest military ciphering method to date. Here are a few examples of what it looks like before and after it is decoded. On the left, it looks like a big ball of jumbled up letters, but on the right, it actually reads out a message that a general or people like us could actually understand. These are the tools that you need in order for it to work. The way the Spartan Skytail worked so well is because the general would take a piece of parchment paper or stretch leather and take a rod, and they would put it around the rod and write the message on the paper, and then take the paper off the rod, and then they would give it to their messenger to take to whoever it goes to. The receiver at the time has to have the same diameter and rod in order for it to be able to be ciphered. And an interesting thing I had read about it was that if you used the stretch leather instead of the parchment paper, the messenger would oftentimes put the stretch leather around their waist, like as if it was a belt, so that if anything happened on their trek to the other general, nobody would really take just a piece of leather off of them, not knowing that it's actually a message. Here's what a ciphertext looks like before it is used on the wooden rod, and then after the general has wrapped it around the rod. And as you can tell on the left, all those letters, you don't really know what it says, but if you go every 4 letters, so the starting at Y and go 4 down to O, and then 4 more down to U, it starts to say something that you can actually understand, just like on the right, how the rod starts to say you have. And that's how that worked, was that it was every 4 letters. And so when you look at it, when it's just off of the rod, it doesn't make sense. But if you have a rod that's in the same diameter as the one that was used to write the code, the message, then you can understand it. These are a few different ways it could have been broken. I think either of these are possible choices, being that at the time there were spies and people who could have listened in on conversations, and even had robbed the messenger for it. If they had listened in on the conversation and knew when it was going to be taken to the other general, they could have intercepted it and read it if they were able to steal the rod, and as long as they were able to read as well. Here are my sources, and thanks for watching.